We are here with Cecily Strong. You're from Chicago.
I am, yes.
Born and raised in Chicago.
Born and raised. That's why I have this gorgeous accent and this gorgeous waistline.
Oak Park.
Yeah, Oak Park.
And so are you also Second City person?
Yes, I did Second City. I did IO theater. But I also grew up, when I was a child, I was a child actress. This might shock you. And I did a lot of theater. In very gay theaters in Chicago.
What are gay theaters?
Well, I guess most theaters are gay.
Are
theaters.
gay, yes.
The musical kind?
The musical kind. There was this theater called the Bailiwick Theater that I did, my first professional show. I think I got like $100 total.
Ooh.
Yes, I'm sorry to brag. Very wealthy. And it was about like the legend of the first female pope. It was very like cheeky but feministy. And then right after that show, the next show would be loading in, and that show was cyberqueer. So I'd like come backstage as an 11-year-old, and there'd be some big man in like little Speedos and go like, "Oh, girl, would you mind just scooting over?" And I'd be like, "Sure." So.
My goodness, because, Saturday Night Live has been around since 1975, and I think everybody knows that most of the talent is milled from the Second City comedy troupe. So going into Second City, the first time, you thought, oh, my goodness, I'm getting into Second City. This is going to be my chance to get on Saturday Night Live.
I think I would never have said that out loud because it feels insane. And also I felt like I was a very serious actress for a long time, up until performing a scene in from Angels in America when I was 18, because everybody
You were
did.
the angel.
Mm-hmm.
I was the angel.
Obviously.
I was Harper, obviously. I did that scene where she goes, "Are you a faggot? Or are you a homo?"
Yeah.
And she's burnt, and then people were laughing, and I was like, "Why are you laughing?
Oh my God, this is like
You
drama.
asshole. I am being for real."
Yeah.
And so that's when my teachers
Yes.
were sort of like, "You should do comedy."
Yeah. You got brothers and sisters?
I do. I have an older brother who is very, very funny. He's in computers, but he's one of the funniest people I know.
Sounds funny.
Yeah.
He sounds like a laugh riot.
he's very special. He's got his own
Website.
He's got his own dirty websites. I have a little stepsister. I have a stepbrother. I have a nephew. And then I just have a giant chosen family. My wife, Joel, is here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, going back to Second City, are there people who don't make it onto Saturday Night Live in Second City?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they're all on Veep.
They're still there. Yes. No, I mean, there's only 15 of us, or 16 or 18 or whatever it is at a time on our show. So not many people, it's just there's not room. But I think there's lots of talented people that sort of go on to do whatever it is
Who don't
they
go
do.
to Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so tell me about the process of getting into Second City, and then how long do you stay in Second City until Lorne Michaels calls?
Well, no, some people too long.
Oh, really?
You can see those people. Yeah. I was there for, I think about like 4 years maybe.
How do you support yourself when you're in Second City?
So I worked 4 jobs. I started back at the billing department at Planned Parenthood.
Oh, great.
I would do that a couple days a week. I babysat a little boy named Rory. I toured with Second City, and then I also worked at the box office at IO. And sucking dick, I guess.
Yeah, that's how you make most of the money.
Well, not me. I'm not very good.
And so, what do you learn in a comedy troupe like that? What is it that you learn that you've taken with you to every job ever since?
Well, what's great is you learn. I've had to work with really difficult people, so you learn that, which is an important lesson, and learn what battles to fight and what to let go of. It's nice to work in an ensemble. There's some of us on the show that are stand-ups, and so you can tell, like, they don't give and take as well.
Right.
And I think just doing improv and sketch versus stand-up is also, it helps with just writing a scene.
Right. Because you can tell people who grow up as only children as opposed to people who grow up with other brothers and sisters, that brothers and sisters teach you how to give and take.
Yes.
And how to
Stand-ups
compromise.
are insane.
Yeah.
They're soulless.
Yeah, because they're on their own, and so a lot of so you work with a lot of difficult people. I not just all show people sort of temperamental and difficult, for lack of a better word.
Well, I think part of the vetting process at SNL too is they just have you come hang out for a couple hours just to make sure you're not too insane
Before you sign the contract?
before they hire you.
Oh.
Yeah. There's no contract there even yet. They just have to see if you're too nuts or too
Yeah.
obnoxious. If
Yeah.
like if you're a person that nobody wants to run into in the hallway at 3 a.m, you're not going to get the job.
Yeah. And how long were you at SNL?
This is
Are you still there?
Still there.
Still there.
7th year.
7th year.
And how long do you film, like throughout the year? I feel like you guys are always filming.
Well, no. I mean, I think it's like 20 to 22 shows. So we go the end of September to the end of May. And it'll be like 3 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks on, 1 week off.
Oh, got it.
It's sort of like
And
that.
you're on every show.
Well, hope it's not always, but not by choice.
Yeah.
Right, because you have to bring your own skits or your
Yeah,
own characters.
Right.
You bring your own skits.
Yes. Well, I write there. I write with my friends James and Kent, and James, who is the biggest. I mean, James is the reason I'm sitting here in every way.
Who's James?
James Anderson is a writer on the show. He's been there forever, and he's such a drag. He's the biggest fan. So I was most excited, even though I have the gag order. I had to tell James.
He's a fan of our show.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Wow.
I didn't say that well.
No, so
yes.
And James is a writer. He's been there a writer for many years, and he's who ushered you into.
Sort of. James gave me my love of wigs. James has a wig drawer in his office, and some days, like, especially if it's been a hard day, you just have to put a wig on and dance.
It changes everything.
It does. At my house right now, I have a wig drawer in my house. I have
Yeah.
like 25 wigs from Amazon.
Yeah.
You get the good stuff.
Getting the good stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
the
so
$10
proud
from
of you.
China, they finally arrived.
It's brilliant. I wish everyone knew that because there's this part of life that is really all about being an alchemist and being able to make magic and change the situation at any time. And I think that's very important for not just performers, but for everybody to understand how to make magic in your life at all times. And a wig changes that instantaneously.
It's so true. I've had so many people over. We have so many parties. I love being like, you know what? I think this is, I think she's yours.
Yes.
And there's always, like a little pussy wig for this
Yes.
boy. And it's just like the way people change. And
Oh,
it's just,
yeah.
it's fun. It's just, it really does. It brightens the
It
world.
really does. I have that same wig box at parts. We call it the party wig box at my house. But this next level of that is having a old shoe
Heels,
box,
yeah.
heels, tons of heels, a size for everybody. And that's not just practical information. That is mystical information. There is a size heel and a size wig for everybody
Yes.
out there.
We used to bring we did a radio show together in '96, and Rue would bring in. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You'd bring in the wigs, bring in the shoes. You'd lug them in because it changed. We worked with this very straight coworker, and he couldn't get into the gayness that we were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rue made him put a wig on and heels, and he was like, he became her.
He became her.
Yes.
He became her. Yeah.
Yeah.
How easy is it for you to create characters? Because you're very good at. You do Melania Trump. You do that party girl who's that drunken party girl who comes and recaps the party. So many great characters.
I think what I love about drag queens too, I think the women that I like to play are women that feel like drag queens to me anyways. And there's, big performative things. I love playing people that are super confident because I'm not normally. I mean, when you have a wig drawer, then you get more confident.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
And a gun really does.
And a gun.
Yeah.
You want to have guns, and then you're good.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just drawn to those big. I love a big, broad, colorful. I mean, I think I've worn fake boobs more than I have not on that show. Nails, tits, hair.
Yeah.
Those are my girls.
And what has that taught you about yourself? What have you learned about yourself through these other characters?
Well, there's a lot of like women in comedy we don't just watching like Yvette and I talking about trying to do the runway tonight. It's like we're humiliated. We don't know how to feel pretty. We even if you are and you're still like I don't know how to work my body. So it's sort of I always say, like, I can do it all the sketch comedy version of it.
Yeah.
But it's like getting to play somebody. I still feel like I'm a 14-year-old.
Sure.
Who's awkward in my Jinkos
Yeah.
and doesn't know how to be a girl,
Yeah.
drinking 40s in the park.
Yes, Chicago style, right?
Well, you know, it's funny. I've said this many times. My therapist, who I've had for 20 years, has told me years and years ago, she said, you know, the power that you have in drag, because I feel like a superhero. I feel like the Clark Kent to my Superman, or vice versa, whatever. That same power, I have access to it when I'm out of drag. And I'm like, oh my God, it had never occurred to me that I could at any moment go, ding, you know, here I am. And the same is with walking on the runway. You immediately just say, oh, I'm this character, I'm this now. And it takes over, you know?
And I think just being around all the people that I'm friends with, I have so many, you know, gender fluid, and getting to be around so much drag, it has really changed me. And I kept saying, just like in March, I was like, you know, I'm really starting to like fall in love with who I am.
Yeah.
Because I would start saying things like, well, did you enjoy the way you felt in that jacket? Then keep that jacket.
Yes.
You know, and it's, you know, and it's like,
Yes.
oh, I'm becoming a person that I love.
Yes.
And it's from being around just this kind of energy and that kind of, there's so much self-love and celebration.
And permission to not have to land on one character at any given time, to be a shapeshifter and know that actually that's what we're all doing on this planet. We are expressing the divinity in human form, and we can change it any time we want.
And I think you spend long enough not loving yourself and being hurt by people and wondering if you're the problem, that it's so nice to finally go like, you know what? Wow. No, actually, I think I'm fabulous.
Yeah.
That comes in time.
Yeah, it does.
Because it's that whole 20s, teenagers, 20s, even the beginning of the 30s maybe, until you go, oh my God, I am wasting so much time
Yes.
with this angst.
I should have had that
created.
wig drawer
Yes.
5 years ago.
Yes, yes.
100%.
That's why, you know, all these parents today, you know, they put their kids in drag earlier, and they allow them to just discover and paint with all the colors and they don't have to land on anything. You never have to land on anything. Actually, you could do it whenever you want. Do you want kids?
I don't know. I think if I did, I was thinking about having a kid on my own at some point. Just being, you know, my life as I'm discovering, I'm 34 now, I'll be 35 in February.
Perfect time.
Yes. Well, I was sort of like, you know what, my life has never ever gone the way that it's spelled out for you, and it's sort of, I'm discovering all these great things. So it's sort of like, you know what, if I could have a kid on my own, why would I have to wait for a partner?
You don't.
First? Right.
Yeah.
So I think it would be, when do I want to stop traveling as much and partying would be.
And more like, when do you want to invite head lice into your house?
And sickness.
And sickness, because that's
so
what
much sickness.
children bring all of that.
I have
into
a
your
dog
life.
turf for now.
Yeah.
She's my child.
Yeah.
And so now I've seen you in lots of movies, and aren't you the spokesperson for a food product now?
Well, I am in a Triscuits commercial.
Yes. Did you sign a contract with them to do more commercials?
No, I did not. But it was okay.
Yeah.
I got to buy a house. Thank you, Triscuit.
Yeah.
Do you get a year supply of Triscuit?
I
They're
didn't, but
delicious, by the way. I love
I
Triscuit.
do actually love
Yeah, I
Triscuit.
love
There's
them.
actually
So I do have
nothing
a year's
better
supply.
with port wine cheese. You know that port
Oh,
wine
I do.
with Triscuit.
Oh,
See, I
I
do
do.
a goat cheese and a garlic and olive oil.
Oh, my God, that sounds
it's
delicious.
really good.
Now, of course, I'm not eating those foods right now, so I can only dream about them.
It's all gluten, by the way. It's all wheat.
Yeah,
Right.
but it is so good. This is the thing about Triscuits, and this is not a plug. They're not paying us here.
No.
Is that it's got the right amount of crunch with the right amount of savoriness, so that when you put a sweet cheese with it, or a goat cheese with it, or a wine, it is perfection. It's everything you want in a snack.
Oh, by the way, now it's in a million flavors.
Is it?
Oh, they have like sun-dried tomato, garlic, and
Do you know what flavor you were advertising?
I think just Triscuit.
Regular
in general.
plain-
And then
then there's reduced fat.
That's what I always get, as if I'm doing any better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still eating a
the
box
whole
of
box.
Triscuits.
No,
Yeah.
I don't want to reduce fat. When I want a regular Triscuit, the classic is just fine for me.
It's just a mental mind fuck.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
all it is.
As a woman in my 30s, I have a lot of reduced fat cheese and crackers in my fridge.
We know we're not doing
And then
anything.
I know I'm doing great.
But it lets the wine be more plentiful.
Exactly.
I got to tell you something, and this is my cue. It just, life really does begin at 40. I got to tell you, I just had to say that. If a lot of people have any doubts about this, just trust me. Just trust Mama Ru
I
here.
can believe it.
It does.
I couldn't wait to turn 30.
Yeah.
I thought being in my 20s, nobody took me seriously.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I was a 45-year-old woman or a 12-year-old boy anyway. So it was like, I couldn't wait to turn 30, and it's just sort of grown since then. So I believe it.
It's fantastic.
40s are amazing.
40s are amazing. It's so fabulous. All right, listen, we've got Cecily Strong here. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come right back after this. Cecily Strong is here. She's one of the spokespeople for Triscuits. Now, wasn't little Sandy
Duncan?
Duncan?
Yes, Zap.
Was she?
Wheat Thins.
Peter
Oh,
Pan.
it's Wheat Thins.
Right.
It's the same company, though,
That is
isn't
so
it?
funny because I always bring that up and nobody ever
Nobody
remembers.
knows.
Those commercials
Yes.
stuck in my head because
Yeah.
she would go Zap.
Yes.
You remember?
Oh my God! And it made me want to have the Wheat Thins. Now, tell me about they didn't pay us for this, but I just want to talk about Wheat Thins for a minute. The commercial, the commercial
she did
you're in.
Triscuits.
She did Triscuits.
Yeah.
No, Sandy Duncan is
Did Wheat
Thins. You're Triscuits.
And are they both Nabisco?
They're both
Yes.
Nabisco.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're
So
both
sister.
delicious.
They're same family.
Same
Yeah.
family. So tell me this. Did you go to a training course to learn how to eat the Triscuit?
Yeah, because there's a special way they want you to.
Well, right. They did. They dress them for you, and you do it. There was a hand model as well, but I did.
You had a hand double?
Yes.
That was supposed to be your hand. Do you know that on Murder She sat down and she wrote in the opening sequence when she's typing at the typewriter? Those are not her hands.
No, they use
What?
pretty hand
They
people.
used pretty hand people.
What?
Yes. I'm sorry to burst your bubble.
They've gone too far this
Oh my
time.
god. Oh my.
They've gone too far this
It's the
time.
first sign of the apocalypse. when
Okay,
they
a
say-
Triscuit we could take.
Because I would tell people that's when actresses worked.
Yes.
But now.
Yes. No. So they used a hand. I did a Jack in the Box commercial about 20 years ago.
You did?
Yes, I did.
What'd you do?
I was.
Did you eat a curly fry?
I didn't actually eat it. I just had to hold it in my hand. But I got to tell
the
you,
burger.
they spend more time decorating that hamburger than they did on my own makeup.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're saying
I did a McDonald's commercial that did not air when I was 10.
When you were
That
10 years old?
Yeah, for soft serve.
So
ice
when that
cream.
happens, do you still get paid, even though it didn't air?
Yes, you don't get the
You
residuals.
don't get the residuals.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But you get to tell people.
Yes, you get to tell
And
all
people
the
are so impressed
that you did
at
a
summer
McDonald's
camp.
commercial.
Yeah.
Now they had a hand model for you, and there were no. Yeah, I was not going to say anything lewd because we're talking about people who are paying the mortgage on your house. So tell me about that. They had a hand model, and they spent a lot of time on that. Just they told you how to hold. No, you didn't have to hold
but
it, though.
I did have to bite into
had to bite it.
And I'm not I didn't spit.
You-
didn't
so you
spit.
a
actually
swallower?
ate it.
Swallowed. Yes.
What was on it? What was on it?
I was told that you're supposed to, if you're doing a commercial like that, you don't eat it because
Right.
you're going to do lots of takes.
And you don't want to get
Well, it was just like a little bite of a Triscuit, and it had pomegranate seeds and some kind of cheese. I don't know.
it was a
sounds
sweet
but it was
one.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember your dialogue?
It was. It's me reading poorly, trying to understand the mixture of whatever they put on the Triscuit.
And
It's not even
It's-
worth.
You've done a lot of commercials, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I'm
There's a
willing
nice
to
little
do
segue
more.
there.
Oh, actually, no.
I
suck.
did Old Navy, which was very fun.
Okay, that's
Mel, who is here.
Yes.
So that's two, and Triscuits.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of corporate gigs that aren't filmed,
Yeah.
but are just as fabulous.
Yeah, and they're done in hotel rooms.
yeah. I borrowed Monet's boots.
Yes, yes. All right. So, how do you see your career going from here? Now, you're on Saturday Night Live. You've done a lot of movies, which is really lovely.
I haven't even done a lot of movies.
Oh,
I
I'm
think-
wrong on every gun.
No, but I appreciate
Aren't you in
it.
Trainwreck?
Everything you've been wrong about has been a compliment to me.
You're
so I'll
in
take it.
Trainwreck? No.
No.
You play a boss. Who's boss? Is it in the?
The boss.
Oh, in The Boss.
Yes.
You're in The Boss.
Oh my God, which I love so
Love
much.
that so much.
That was so much fun.
The stupid turtlenecks. Can we just?
Michelle is obsessed with it.
First
Just
of all,
let her get it out.
I
of her
love that
system.
movie.
Yeah.
But you literally spend the first 45 minutes of the movie trying to figure out how that stayed up.
How that
was
thing's-
it double
that trouble-
stick?
that-
Was it?
I know that Melissa would appreciate that so much
Yeah.
that you care about
I
that
care
because
so
you know
much.
she does.
Yes.
Yeah.
She has that turtleneck on, and it's never described why.
No.
Other than the fact that because she's hiding her neck or something.
I think she chose it for the character. The
Yeah.
character maybe wanted to do that.
Yeah.
She was that anal that she had it up to her chin.
I wasn't bothered as much by that.
No, I loved it. It wasn't a bother.
A good bother.
Yes.
My
Hot and
problem
bothered.
with the Boss movie is that they didn't use the Diana Ross classic song for the end titles.
Yeah.
Do you know that song? You're too young to know. That's Love Taught Me. Who was the boss? Ashford and Simpson. Diana Ross. Big hit. Taught me.
Okay.
Who was the boss?
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
great.
Suit
I
up.
don't know any new music.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's-
okay.
yeah.
That's okay. But that was my problem. So you did the movie The Boss. You haven't done that many? I feel like I've seen you in tons of movies.
No, I did that. I did. I had a little part in Ghostbusters, and then I did this movie with Susan Sarandon called The Meddler, and then I did Whitney's movie, The Female Brain, and that was it. And
Wow.
but I'm,
Whitney
I haven't been in.
Cummings.
I haven't been sent a lot of.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Cummings.
No, Whitney
yes.
Cummings.
Whitney
Yes.
Houston's,
Yes, yeah.
Whitney Houston's
Movie,
recent
yeah.
movie.
Yes,
The documentary.
They found the script.
Thank God. Did you play Whitney?
I produced it.
Whitney
Because that's the ticket, really, is producing your own stuff. now
Yes,
you're
yes,
living,
exactly.
you're bi-curious now because you're living out here in Los Angeles and in New York.
Yes.
And did you move to LA also so that you can do more movies and things?
Well, no, I like
No,
to
you don't
not
wanna
work
do
out
movies.
here. No,
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I definitely. I want to do good movies. I want to write them for myself and make them with people I really enjoy
Yeah.
and make sure they're not stupid female roles
Sure.
and stupid, all these things that I publicly say I support. I want to
Yeah.
make sure I'm
doing the opposite.
doing the
Exactly.
opposite. No, in commercials that's fine, but not in a movie.
Right. right.
But I just wanted to own something again, like being 34 and not married and not with being like I want to do one. This
Yes.
what's my first big move.
Yeah.
That commitment to me was like I want to buy a home
Yeah.
somewhere. And in New York, it would have been with the money I have, like a shoebox.
Yeah.
In the Bronx.
Bushwick.
Right,
Yeah.
with like a cracked floor.
Yeah.
So, and I can get like a little house out here
Yeah.
for that same amount. So,
You know what's interesting is there have been a lot of female cast members of SNL who have gone on to huge success, some bigger success than others. It would be interesting for someone to write a book, a handbook for, okay, ladies, you're on SNL. Here's what to expect. Like what to expect when you're expecting, what to expect after. And, there have been some really brilliant moves by, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler in terms of how to conquer this business. I wonder if there should be an SNL female convention where you talk about career moves, what to do next, how to get in with Lorne Michaels, have other female cast members come to you and said, okay, this is what you should do next. This is how you should handle your career.
I have not. You're kind of thrown in, but I like taking on a big sister role to like Melissa and Heidi and newer people. It feels because knowing how awful it can feel sometimes and how crazy that place can be. If I can go, you're such a sweet person. If I can make this a little bit easier for you,
That's very helpful.
yeah, I think so. And I think there have always been people like that in the cast throughout the years. That have, I think Amy was. I didn't get to be on the cast there. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's one of the most
Brilliant.
wonderful people on earth too. But I think she was very much that way. I sat next to Bill Hader at the table.
Love.
Seth was very much that way. So it's sort of there's always that's passed down.
Yeah.
Because we know that room of producers is going to be crazy to us. We know the audience is going to be crazy to us. We know they're going to be crazy to us online. It's a lot to be thrown into.
Yeah.
So it's nice, I think, to have somebody go like, this is your first time going on an online scandal.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's brilliant. Now, we've got to go back to work, but I just got a psychic vision of what your big movie is.
Rue's good at this.
I'm good at this.
Okay, I believe it.
What you got to do, this is it. It is the 20th anniversary of a girl group. You were in a girl group when you were, say, 15, and you and two other girls who hate each other have to get together for this, like, American Idol or some super show to put together this girl, and you hate each other, and it's you and two other girls.
I have written that script.
You kidding?
We wrote it last summer. I wrote it
You
with
are
James and
kidding
Kent.
me.
We were the Forget-Me-Nots.
Wow.
And our lead singer, it started, the girl who went on to become a star dies at
Yes.
the beginning of the movie.
Yes, I love it.
And
I
then
love
the
it.
three get back together.
I love it.
That
That's
is
it.
so amazing.
No,
We
it's my
just- we
psychic
just-
power.
Yes.
It's my psychic power. I was getting that as you were talking. Make that movie.
Yeah.
That's your ticket right there. You want a house in Beverly Hills? You want a Lamborghini?
Maserati?
You want a
You want a
Maserati?
Bugatti?
You want a
I want a-
Lamborghini?
you want a
I want
body?
a driver.
You want a driver?
yeah.
Well, then you got it. You make that
Yeah.
movie, you got it.
Okay.
Cecily Strong is here. We love you so much. We've got to go back to work now. Thank you for taking the time from your lunch break to come and talk to us.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cry. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. All right, so we're going to go to